there was also being able to go back and revisit that scene in 1968 when Pleasant View and two other congregations were struggling in terms of how to move forward. Each were suffering from memberships that were dwindling. And in the midst of what was taking place in the broader society, these three congregations, one Black and two white, originally separated over the issue of slavery, a white Southern congregation, a white Northern congregation, and a Black congregation, all struggling, trying to decide whether or not they could come together and merge. And then in April of '68, these members of Pleasant View, the Black congregation, having a meeting trying to decide whether or not this should take place, and struggling because they knew that their ancestors were truly invested in the Pleasant View site, and they were concerned about what they would lose if this merger were to take place. And in the midst of all of that taking place, there's a knock that comes on the door, and it's the pastor who's coming in, and he's sharing the message that Dr. Martin Luther King had just been assassinated. It was April 4th, 1968. And in the midst of all that was going on there, the pastor pulls the members together around the flagpole to have a time of prayer. I was 17 at that time, and I was, wanted to see what was going on, so I didn't close my eyes in the midst of the prayer. And as he was praying about Dr. King's family, praying about us coming together, I saw a tear trickling down his cheek. The pastor was white, and he was the only white person in that gathering of Black folk. And as I saw that tear trickling down his cheek, I came to a kind of a realization that Dr. King's life and his ministry wasn't just about rights for Black people. It was about people being able to reconcile, to come together, and to forge a new and different future. At the end of that meeting, at the end of that prayer, we went our separate ways. But the positive about that is that those three congregations just made a decision to create a new and different future. As riots were taking place in the broader community in some of the cities, those three congregations chose to come together and forge a new and different future.